This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. You know, there's a term that I've never been fond of, and it's virtue signaling. Yeah, you're just virtue signaling. You don't care about equality, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, there are some times that it does actually apply. And it is typically, especially these days, it aligns with evangelical Christianity, white Christian nationalism, and Israel. Because it's long been a sounding board. Oh, we got to support Israel. We got to support Israel because of their death cult, because of their doomsday religion, the tenets of their faith that Jesus can't come back until all of these different markers within prophecy in the Bible come to pass. And it all involves Israel. Where it's going to happen, the Megiddo or Armageddon, all of this stuff. I'm a little rusty on some of the details. You know, I've not been a member of this faith community for many years, and, you know, it kind of falls out of my head. But it is virtue signaling because at their core, they are anti-Semites. They hate Jews. They blame Jews for Jesus dying, even though there would be no salvation message, there would be no gospel, there would be no Christianity if Jesus hadn't been crucified by the Romans, by the way. And Donald Trump is chief among these people to signal about his support for Israel while out of the other side of his mouth saying virulently anti-Semitic things. And I'm going to play this clip from Jake Tapper, who kind of lines it all out and talks about it. Jake Tapper, a Jew himself, give it a more credibility as to the impact of it. Because, you know, I'm not Jewish. Can't really speak to some of that stuff. So watch this clip, and then let's talk about it on the other side, exactly what we're dealing with here with Donald Trump specifically, but more generally the conservative movement and Republicans related to their bigotry and anti-Semitism.
Another shocker from Donald Trump, showing nothing, not even one's faith, is off limits in 2024. If you're an American Jew who votes for Democrats, Donald Trump says you hate your own religion and you hate Israel and you should be ashamed of yourself. We should note, American Jews vote Democratic roughly 70% of the time. So that's a lot of Jews that Donald Trump just attacked. Monday, former Trump White House aide Sebastian Gorka asked Trump about criticism that prominent Democrats, including President Biden and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, have aimed at Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Take a listen.
Why do the Democrats hate Bibi Netanyahu?
I actually think they hate Israel.
Yes.
I don't think they hate him. I think they hate Israel. And the Democrat Party hates Israel. Any Jewish person that votes for Democrats hates their religion. They hate everything about Israel, and they should be ashamed of themselves because Israel would be destroyed.
It's a fairly shocking thing for a presidential candidate to say about any religious minority, but about Jews at this time of rising anti-Semitism in the United States, it is certainly noteworthy. This is not the first time he has lashed out at Jews who don't support him. Just last year, around the high holy days for Jews, Trump shared a social media image that said liberal Jews who didn't support him, quote, voted to destroy America and Israel. But that was a repost on Instagram or retruth or whatever. The White House was quick to respond to Trump's latest comments, saying, quote, as anti-Semitic crimes and acts of hate have increased across the world, among them the deadliest attack committed against the Jewish people since the Holocaust, leaders have an obligation to call hate what it is and bring Americans together against it. There is no justification for spreading toxic, false stereotypes that threaten fellow citizens. None, unquote. That was putting it nicely compared to what the Biden campaign had to say, which was, quote, the only person who should be ashamed here is Donald Trump. Donald Trump openly demeans Jewish Americans and reportedly thinks Adolf Hitler, quote, did some good things. That last bit is a reference to comments Trump made in private to his then chief of staff, retired General John Kelly, according to CNN's own Jim Sciutto.
So that's where we stand. He's not the leading contender to be president for Republicans anymore. He is the nominee. I'm not officially, they haven't had the convention, but he's secured enough delegates. He's going to be the nominee. Someone who said that Adolf Hitler did good things. Someone who has been endorsed multiple times by many prominent racists and white supremacists, up to and including David Duke, the former Grand Wizard of the KKK. So are we going to take Donald Trump's, also a man who knows nothing about religion, when asked, what's your favorite scripture? Oh, no, they're all so special to me. It's too special for me to even talk about. Well, can you name your favorite book? Oh, no. Too special for the Donald to talk about. Mr. 2 Corinthians. A guy who has zero understandings of the tenets of his own faith, let alone another faith, Judaism. And he's going, just running running wild with tactics. My other clips here playing, running wild with age-old tactics and tropes that are anti-Semitic, that conflating Judaism, the religion, and Israel, the country. It's gross. And Republicans, they love it because they get to, out of one side of his mouth, they'll listen to all of this stuff about supporting Israel, and then ignore all the other stuff. Find people on both sides as Nazis who murdered Heather Heyer in Charlottesville. Oh, there were good people on both sides. Hitler did some great things. Endorsements from, the likes of Richard Spencer, the Nazi face seen punched around the world. David Duke, former Grand Wizard of the KKK, the current leadership in these disgusting organizations, they all love Trump. When you see somebody traipsing through the United States Capitol with a Confederate flag, it's not a Democrat you're looking at. The KKK today isn't filled with people who vote for Joe Biden. It's Republicans. They hate Jews. They say they love Israel, but only because of their weird death cult they're in. And Donald Trump, this is where we are. Look, some of this is that it's the chaos that drives him and fuels him. And whether it be attacks on racial minorities or ethnic minorities, or whether it be attacks on religious minorities, he's here for it because it causes... Donald Trump's philosophy is similar to when Putin interferes in our election or China interferes in our election to just try to dust things up and make chaos, because it is a destabilizing effect, and Donald Trump benefits from destabilization. I mean, the hate and the bigotry is just a cherry on top for Donald Trump, I think. Anyway, I'd love your opinion on this. You can mix it up in the comments. We can disagree agreeably or just disagree disagreeably. You can also call and leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me, daily@dollemore.com, and I would love to hear from you. Please consider supporting this work, helping produce this content on this channel. You can do so by clicking the join button below this video on YouTube. For $2 a month, you can become a channel member. You can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. That's my Patreon page. You can join the Patreon family for as little as $2 a month also. I'd love to see you there. I appreciate it. Follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore, and I will see you next time. Until then, be genuine and take care of one another.